In this video, I'm looking at the iFi Audio ZEN Air CAN headphone amplifier. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. Before I get into the video, I just want to apologize if you hear some really annoying drilling in the background. Still got construction going on outside my window, unfortunately. But I just have to do my best and get on with this video, get on with this review. So the ZEN Air CAN here, coming in at a price of $99. This is a budget item. And let's have a look at the outside. Just like the ZEN Air DAC, we've got a polycarbonate body. It's not metal. It's just sort of acrylic or plastic, unfortunately. But, you know, keep in mind we're talking at $100 here. So let's look at the front panel, starting with the power button. Then we've got our input select. There are 3 different inputs. Obviously, we've got a gain select switch with 3 gain modes. Here's our analog potentiometer or volume knob. Then we've got a 6.35mm unbalanced headphone jack and a 4.4mm. Finally, we've got the X space and X space button here. Now, a single press will activate X space. Second press will switch over to X space. If you press it a third time, you get both features or functions enabled, and press it a fourth time and they both turn off. So that's the front panel. Around on the back, you've got a 3.5mm auxiliary input and 2 RCA inputs or line ins, and of course your DC 5V input there. Speaking of that, I'd like to point out the included power cable. It's a USB to DC input, and unfortunately it's only about 65 centimeters long, so it's really impractical. I imagine a lot of people will need to buy a USB extension cable or, you know, a new cable altogether. That's unfortunate, but part of the effect of having such a low entry price. But that's the iFi CAN, and of course I paired it with the iFi ZEN Air DAC. So these are both from the new Air series, aimed at the budget conscious user. So to hook these up, it's just a simple matter of RCA out to RCA in, and you are good to go. I should explain these as well. So the X bass is basically a bass boost. It increases the level of the bass, and the X space is a spatializer. And we've seen, you might have seen a spatializer on certain things like creative sound cards. Even some dongle DACs have it. It's like it's often used for game mode in audio devices, and it basically just expands the soundstage a little bit. But unlike most devices, when iFi does it, it's done on the analog circuit, so it's not DSP or digital sound processing. It's all done in the analog realm, and basically that just preserves the true quality of the audio a bit better than it does when you do it digitally. So yeah, that's the CAN there. Pretty simple device, but it's packed with quite a few features. I will quickly just mention the output power from the headphone outputs, up to maximum of 1200 milliwatts, which is pretty crazy. Like 1.2 watts of output power, you can pretty much drive just about any headphone. But the great thing about this is you've got the 3 gain levels, so it's also perfectly suitable for sensitive IEMs as well. I will also mention that if you are foolish enough to have it on high gain and plug in sensitive IEMs, you'll probably hear a bit of background noise. But if you have it on the low gain setting with a sensitive IEM, the way it's designed and intended to be used, you won't hear any background hissing. So enough with all that. Let's talk about how the ZEN Air CAN sounds, and I could sum it up in a sentence really. It simply takes the audio that you feed into it and it magnifies it. That's it. There's no added color or character. It just passes on that electrical information and it amplifies or boosts it. That's not to say it doesn't improve the sound though, but like if you need more output power than your source provides, whether it be a computer or a tablet or even a phone, you will definitely hear the difference here. And even if you think you don't need more power, this headphone amp might just surprise you. Like there's something to be said about a headphone amp or amplifiers in general really that have a muscular and confident presentation. And what I noticed with the Air CAN here was that compared to the standalone iFi ZEN Air DAC, the CAN sounds more effortless and more self-assured. It just sounds more confident and muscular. And the added swag that you get from that extra power, it's especially noticeable with headphones like the Sennheiser HD650 here, but it also, strangely enough, works for IEMs as well. It sort of works on all levels. Compared to listening straight out of the ZEN Air DAC here, the Air CAN adds more dimensionality to the soundstage, more precise imaging, but first and foremost, just that confidence and that sort of robustness. So I tested this device with a whole bunch of stuff, things like this one here, which is the IO Audio Velair, which has really quickly become one of my favorite IEMs at any price point. I love this thing. Review of this coming soon. But yeah, with the IO Velair here, I got quite emotional when listening to this pairing, believe it or not. And that is not just a testament to the Velair, but it also demonstrates how good this ZEN Air CAN is as well. The sub-bass extension is amazing, it's powerful, it's authoritative, but it doesn't sound forced or bloated in any way. The mid-range is spacious and articulate, albeit with the slightly drier mid-range tone of the Velair here. Treble notes are really airy, they linger in the air before dissipating naturally. There's good stage depth and height. So this is actually a very good pairing for the CAN here. And then let's talk about the HD650 real quick. Just because, as you probably know, the Sennheiser HD6XX series, relatively hard to drive compared to a lot of headphones. So, but with the CAN here, it's really the ZEN Air CAN handled the HD650s with ease. I found the medium gain setting to be the sweet spot. I had loads of power on tap, plenty more in reserve, so plenty of headroom on medium gain with the HD650s. And with this combo, the bass is tight, it's controlled, there's great layering and depth in the bass. The mid-range is lush, but it is also open and spacious with a nice inviting tone. And of course, the treble is laid back, slightly warm, yet at the same time still quite detailed and very airy. The soundstage is nice and expansive, but there's good note density and stable boundaries within the soundstage as well. So to wrap it up, the iFi Audio ZEN Air CAN, well, it's the second model I've tried from their Air series, and both of these devices here are just $99. Honestly, when you look at just the amount of functionality that you get for a start, 3 different inputs, 3 gain levels, X bass, X space, you get both 6.35 and 4.4 millimeter headphone outputs. Honestly, and of course the audio quality, it's pretty incredible what they've achieved for such a low price. And with that said, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. If you would like to support the channel, check out my Patreon link down below. I do monthly BTS or behind the scenes videos, a little bit of extra content there. And if you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button before you go. And until next time, I'll see you later.